Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about why us women can be a little delulu sometimes when it comes to finding our perfect man.
I think for women my age or in my generation, it kind of comes from the Disney fairy tales of there's going to be this perfect man, a Prince Charming, that is going to come and save you from all your bullshit. He's going to save the day. And I feel like it's been so embedded in us that it is forever changed how we see or how women see relationships. Is we believe that we are this prize to be won over and that a man should, and don't get me wrong, I still believe in traditional relationships and I believe that a man should initiate courtship. But I believe in reciprocity. I believe in a relationship being mutual. And I feel like today women think that men should have to work super hard for their affection, their time. It's just kind of like, oh, I am the prize just because I'm a woman and just because I exist. And that's what we're taught from a young age. And I think it also teaches us that our needs are supposed to be met by one person, which is very untrue. I mean, that's why we have family and friends, hobbies and interests. We have a delicate balance of things that make us happy. It isn't just one thing or one person, and we should never put that burden on our partner.
One person cannot meet every single one of your needs. That fairy tale man that you have in your head does not exist.
A man cannot be a super successful business owner who's dedicated to his career and also 100% perfect family man who's always there and never misses anything, and also a very protective and strong, who's also super in tune with his emotions and romantic and writing you love letters. And it's not going to happen. You have to pick and choose. There's always going to be a sacrifice.
We often forget that men are also human and they have their own struggles just as we women
They,
have.
they have their own insecurities and vulnerabilities, and they have their own needs that need to be met as well. A few decades ago, a good man was considered just a man who could provide for his family. And today, women want way more than that. They want a man who is healed, who has no baggage, who has no trauma, who is all of those things that I mentioned earlier, who's a protector, but also compassionate and in tune with his emotions and romantic and successful and 6 foot and six figures. And it's just gotten to a point where it really is bordering on delusion. I think a lot of women, it is so natural for us to have our lives revolve around our partner, and we totally devote ourselves to our partner. We obsess over them, and it's just something that comes natural to us. And we want that same investment and that same kind of devotion from men. But we have to understand that men love in different ways and they express love in different ways and not the same ways we do. We can't expect them to love in the same intensity and in the same kind of romanticism that we do. It's just not in their DNA. And I'm not saying that there isn't some men that are very romantic and very sweet and thoughtful. There are. But most men are wired to focus on their responsibilities, to focus on their status and reputation and becoming of value to the world. Whereas for women, a lot of us are just trying to become valuable to a man. And that sounds really sad, but it's true. A lot of what we do is to just be attractive and to have men want us. When people were doing that orange peel theory, where women were asking their boyfriends to peel them an orange, and depending how the man reacted was apparently if he loved her or not, or if he was a good man, whether he was willing to peel the orange or he said, why don't you do it yourself? Or if he, I don't know, said, I'm busy right now, or something else. People are basing a whole relationship off of that. little action. And there was like several other trends that went on that were similar. And I just feel like women can sometimes be brainwashed and deluded by going on TikTok, by watching these videos, by being brainwashed by all of this stuff that isn't actually applying to the general public, but is just in their echo chamber. A lot of us women want men to obsess over us. We want them to be more romantic and thoughtful and sentimental. But the thing that we don't realize is that what we like in men is their masculinity, is their ambition, their drive, their success, their focus on themselves, their goals. And if a man had dropped everything for you and dropped his dreams and everything that he was doing and going to the gym and doing all these things that are good for him to tend to your every need and to be with you, you wouldn't be attracted to him anymore and you wouldn't even want to be with him because all of those things are the reason why we like men, the reason why we want to be with men. And it's almost like women want to mold men into being women.
And then the moment that men start to show their feminine side and they're soft and they're gentle and yeah, they're sensitive, then we're like grossed out about it or we have an
Yeah.
ick.
You see, we get the ick, or yeah, like they're considered weak.
You know the taxi cab theory? Men will just kind of settle for
Oh, the
whoever.
next one that comes when,
Yeah,
at the
like
time of their life that they're ready.
yes. Like, do you
Yeah.
believe in that?
I think men are more simple than we are,
Mm,
and they're more willing to settle for a woman who is classified as a 6 or a 7, whereas us women are like, no, we want a 10.
mm.
At the end of the day, when we're all old and we're on our deathbeds, we are not going to be thinking about all of these shallow factors that we put into dating apps, all of these weird requests that we make for men. Is generally end of the day about our soul's connection, about our chemistry, about love. And as anyone would know, like when you fall in love, there's just no real choice in it. I mean, you
Mm.
just fall in love. So I think today people are falling in love less and less because they're just unwilling to subject themselves to being that vulnerable. They're unwilling to express how much they even really like someone.
Or they're fearful.
Yeah, fearful of rejection. Men tend to have a more long term vision when it comes to relationships. And so they're more willing to be unhappy for a temporary period of time and not complain about it, not get mad at their girlfriend, not break up or divorce. Whereas women, we're so much leading with our emotions so much of the time that if we're unhappy for 2 weeks, all of a sudden we got to break up. All of a sudden we got to have a talk. All of a sudden we got to think about divorce. We can't handle any kind of inconsistency of being unhappy with our partner and them not meeting our needs. And I think that's just a problem with women in general, is that we're always micromanaging and trying to making things better, including our partner. And we never just like accept men for who they are, where men are way more willing to just accept a woman for who she is, not trying to change us, not trying to mold us, just accepting who we are and taking our bullshit and taking that temporary unhappiness. You think that they're happy too when you're unhappy? No. He's not happy too, but he's just not addressing it right now because he understands that there's ups and downs in relationships and that in 2 weeks from now he's going to be happy again because he's able to look at logic and the long-term future. Whereas women can only see right now, and we just see our emotions right now, and they need to be addressed right now, which isn't always practical or even smart. Like sometimes you just need to chill, go take a nap, and you'll feel better in the morning. The whole point is that we shouldn't feel so entitled to a man's devotion simply just because we exist. We shouldn't be feeling like we are a prize just because we are a woman or just because we are beautiful. We have to understand that men are human too, that men have needs too, and that they are just as important. Their needs are just as important as ours. And we are never going to succeed together if we're always at war with them and we always think that we are the superior gender.
Love isn't just butterflies that you feel in your stomach. It's the decision to stay with that person even after the butterflies are gone.
Even after the honeymoon phase has happened, even after real things start to happen, real conflicts, when heavy emotions start to be brought in and deciding to face it and not run away. I think that's lacking in today's culture and in dating today. I think everybody's standards are so high that even when they do meet somebody who could be pretty great, as soon as any kind of a negative emotion start to enter, they're already ready to dip out and see what's next and the next best thing.
With friendships, when you're hanging out with the girls and you're telling them about how your man isn't doing this or that, we can kind of get caught up in the energy and say, yeah, no, you should leave him. That's a red flag, or you deserve better. You can find someone better. But in reality, we don't know what it's really like being in that relationship or what's going on behind closed doors.
We're just hearing what they say and we're acting off that emotion and feeling for them, but not understanding that actually may not be in their best interest to leave their husband or leave their partner or someone they have children with or whatever their circumstances. It's never that cut and dry. Things are complex, and that's never just the answer of just automatically leave, unless, of course, there's abuse and other things involved.
Basically, we just need to find balance.
Yeah.
Have that balance. We hope that you enjoyed this episode and let us know what your thoughts are.
We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.